Hello, my Grots and Gits, and welcome back to Happy Crumpin' Wargaming. We have a treat for you today. So there's a lot of amazing things that happen in this game. One of the weird changes from 9th edition to 10th edition was the way that we use characters. Characters are not used solo that often anymore. Currently, in the current game, we have certain lone ops, which are characters that are used solo, and then we have leader units. However, sometimes in this game, you actually still want to run your leader units solo, and it can be a little bit hard to puzzle it out. So what I've done is I've built a list of units that you actually might want to take solo, even though they have the leader keyword. Now, this is not a complete list. There are a lot of characters in this game, but these are 10 really, really good ones, and if you're not using them solo, well, I got some thoughts for you that might make you change your mind. So let's jump right on into it. Before we really jump super far, I wanted to give everyone a quick heads up. You have 2 days to sign up for the Happy Crumpin' Teams tournament. Teams will be assigned on June 21st, and then we will have our first round pairing on the 25th. You will be assigned to your own captain, and you're going to be guided throughout the entire process of teams. So if you're interested in playing teams, this is going to be a TTS-based tournament, then you should hop on in. It is for members only, so you got to be signed up as a YouTube member or a coffee member. Links are down below in the description. And then you can join and you can grow as a player. So let's jump right into it. Rules. All right. We're not talking about characters that can attach, right? So I'm not going to say a Calidus is a great character to run solo. Of course, a Calidus is a great character to run solo. You're not going to see Magnus, Mortarion, Angron here. As you can see, here's a very sad and salty Angron who is not being included in today's list. So we're only going to be talking about characters that are leaders that can be taken solo that we're going to be including. So no assassins, no big Primarchs, nothing like that. So let's just jump into the number one. Now, number one is a little cheeky. I'll give you that. It is the Tech Marine. Now, the Tech Marine is actually a leader. He can lead your Tactical Marines. He can lead a couple other things as well. But this guy does a lot for your army. You can run him in Ironstorm. You can run him all over the place, and he's going to be able to give lots of different enhancement monkeys. For Grey Knights, you can use him as a very, very cheap action monkey who you can stack First to the Fray on him so he can deep strike turn 1. The Warpsmith in Soulforge is an amazing way to run a solo Tech Marine as well, because he can give the entire aura of full reroll hits to demon engines. Tech Marines are freaking awesome in this edition. It's something that we didn't see too much in Ninth, but they are all over the freaking place. As a matter of fact, sometimes even in my Blood Angels, if I'm running, say, a Vindicator, I will take a Tech Marine to getting the Vindicator hitting on the 2s, then healing him up as he takes damage. He's just freaking awesome. Not to mention, he will get the Lone Op keyword when he is within 3 inches of a vehicle, and he gets all beefed up once the vehicle dies, so he becomes a little bit of a beat stick character as well. I love freaking Tech Marines. Running them solo gives you lots of freaking options, especially in the new edition or the new season, where we're going to see it makes it much harder for units to be doing actions in general. Having a Tech Marine there that can buff and heal a unit and then do an action and still be blown up by being within 3 inches of a vehicle becomes very, very valuable in the new season of Warhammer. Let's jump into the next one, which is not nearly as cheeky. So we're talking about the Autarch Wayleaper. If you have been playing competitive 40k, you've probably seen this guy, and he is a total jerk. Let me tell you about him. He generates free CP. You don't even roll for it. He just gives you a free CP every turn. It's just Eldar madness. He moves 14 inches. He gets fight first depending on the equipment you give him. He has a Melt-A-Gun, and that stacks with, your fate dice. So he can get like an automatic hit on a Overwatch with a Melt-A-Gun if necessary. He has Lone Op, and there's lots of enhancements you can stack on this dude, which just make him incredible value, especially when you start talking about the Phoenix Gem, which allows him to come back to life on a 2+. He is a total monster. He scores like a freaking legend, and he is a harassing unit that you just do not want to deal with, because in all reality, he is going to mess you up. You can't charge him with a unit of Storm Boys because he's going to fight first and kill him. You don't really want to dedicate much shooting into him, even if you get within the 12 inches to shoot him, because he's probably just going to stand up again. He is an issue. Let's talk about. All right, this one is a little bit. I'm gonna get comments. I already know. Is it Abaddon or is it Abaddon? I'm gonna go with Abaddon. I know a lot of you want to go with Abaddon, but I'm going Abaddon. Anyway, this dude is expensive. Now, he does like his Guard of Chosen, especially with the new CSM Codex, where you can start running him with Chosen and not just with Terminators. That is actually really, really awesome. Giving him access to constant advance and charge, constant fallback and charge is really, really sick. However, I submit to you, a solo Abaddon, that gets to still be a total beat stick because this guy still 100% slaps, gets to stand and give a 6-inch aura of full rerolls to hit to, say, triple Forge Fiends or triple Vindicators. This will operate in Overwatch. This will operate in every single shooting phase. It is brutally powerful. It is extremely strong, and Abaddon gives some crazy damage amplification to the army. If you don't have the points to take his Guard of Chosen or Terminators, you might want to consider running him solo. It might not always be the best option, but holy crap, if you haven't taken this guy solo, it is a real option, and I would strongly consider it if I were you. Saint Celestine. Okay, now here's the deal. I'm only going to give you 2 Sisters characters because Sisters of Battle just have such a ludicrous amount of characters that are just insane value. The points cost on their characters are just silly low. So I'm only going to give you 2 of them, and we're going to start with Saint Celestine. I think she's 135, so she's sub 140, and she absolutely slaps. One, she gets to, no matter what, she's going to be taken with her 2 Gemini attendants, who also have a 2-up armor save and that 4-up invulnerable save, making them require a little bit of shooting. But because of the unique ability of running a character who has 2 other units with her, or 2 other models with her, but she's not attached to a bodyguard unit, one thing you can do is you can just start off by taking damage on Celestine, who has a 4-up Feel No Pain, and then you can resurrect the Gemini. It gets very, very interesting how you distribute wounds with her. So she is way tougher than expected. She hits really, really hard. She's got a nice little flamer. If you kill her, she comes back to life on a 2-up. All for 135. She's going to dominate any skirmisher. She's a terror to get into your opponent's back lines. This chick is awesome. I absolutely love her. And when you consider the fact that she has Dev Wound keyword, or the Dev Wound ability on her weapon, suddenly she can even punch up against harder targets. I know I was just playing a game where she killed my Death Company Dreadnought. A Death Company Dreadnought, which charges her, does no damage, and then she just kills him. It is insane how valuable this model is, and if I was a Sisters player, I would always be taking her, probably solo. Although her value as a leader is also definitely there. Then finally, let's talk about this stupid little missionary. And when I say finally, I don't mean finally for the video. I got like 5 more characters for you. We're going to keep this story going, baby. But the missionary is one of the most annoying and stupid pieces of crap models in the game. I hate this thing. It's effectively what happens is the Sisters player is going to take the missionary. It's going to cost them 30 points. You're going to kill the missionary. They're going to get D3 miracle dice. And then they're going to spend 1 CP to resurrect the missionary, which means you're going to kill it again. And then the Sisters player is going to get another D3 miracle dice. It is so annoying, all for 30 points. I hate this guy. Alrighty, let's talk about some really cool combinations that a lot of people weren't thinking about. So this is the solo mega armored war boss. I did talk about him briefly in another video, but let me give you kind of a rundown of how this guy operates. So he costs you 80 points as of right now. Things can change, but as of right now, he has 80 points. And he is a monster when you run him leading a unit of Meganobs, because he's going to go up to that sweet, sweet damage 3 in the wall. He gets +1 to hit to his entire unit, but he doesn't even need to be attached to a unit because he doesn't really need to benefit from the +1 to hit for himself because he hits on a 2-up base, which is fantastic. Now, let me do this for you. He's 80 points. Let's take him in War Horde, which is my favorite detachment for the orcs, and we're going to give him an enhancement called the Super Cyborg Body. When we do that, he goes all the way up to 95 points. Still a sub 100 point character. Now, he has a 2-up armor save, a 5-up invulnerable save, and a 4-up Feel No Pain with 7 wounds and T6. And don't forget, since we're in the War Horde, he has access to a -1/2 wound stratagem. This makes him a nightmare to kill. You can't really charge him with any MSU unit in the game, because if you do, he'll laugh, won't die, and then we'll kill the unit that charged him. So this guy's just going to be kind of hanging out. He's going to be doing actions. If you get close to something that you don't want him to get close to, let's say they're charging one of your units that you don't want them to charge, you can heroic intervene with this guy to mess up pylons. He is value town, and I love him. Now, some people like running the Super Cyborg on the Death Killer Wartrike. I'm not a fan of that, especially with the new season of the Pariah Nexus, where we can no longer advance and do actions. I think the Death Killer drops off a lot, and the solo Mega Boss becomes king. Speaking of solo Mega Boss, not to be outdone by his little brother, we have the solo War Boss. Now, hear me out on this one. A lot of people might not necessarily agree with me here, but this So this is specifically for the Bully Boys detachment of orcs. He's 65 points, and for 2 battle rounds, he is going to be getting Advance in Charge, and he's going to be having 9 attacks with his Strength 11 Power Claw. For 65 points, honestly, it's a pretty dang good value. Sometimes when I'm building Bully Boys lists, I might end up with 65 points, and I'm asking myself, do I really need another unit of Storm Boys, or might it be a decent idea just to have a solo war boss who I can send out to go smash something? Because with 9 attacks at strength 11, AP 2, damage 2, he actually can put a hurting on something that your opponent doesn't want to be hurt. So I think he is a definitely viable option for a solo war boss. I probably wouldn't be taking him solo in any of the other detachments, maybe in War Horde, but in all reality, it's probably only in Bully Boys. But regardless, it's something to consider depending on the points of your list. Now, I've only got 3 more here. So let's give the World Eaters a little bit of love. We got Lord Invocatus. Some people might not even realize that he actually is a leader because, you probably never see him led because he's so freaking good solo. When he's a leader, what he does is he gives access to like fallback and charge, which is actually pretty good on World Eaters because sometimes they kind of get stuck, and if they get bogged down, their momentum dries up. It's not a bad ability. However, since he's mounted, it actually can really mess up their movement ability when he is leading a unit, so a lot of times you want to start him solo. Now, he gives one of the best abilities in the entire game. He just points at 2 infantry units within 6 inches and gives them Scout 6. This is the source of some of World Eater's insane turn 1 speed, and it is such a valuable ability, especially in this edition where not being shot is so critical because you can deploy on the line and then scout backwards to safety if you go second. It is critical. He also has Scout himself, which is super useful. After all is said and done, after the first turn movement shenanigans are finished, this guy then gets to go. He moves pretty quick, and he is a total beat stick on his own right. So we love Lord Invocatus as a solo. I'm going to give you one more Eldar, guys, and I hate it, but I got to do it. Oh, Fuegan. Oh, Fuegan. If you guys don't know Fuegan, he is a total jerk. This guy is a nightmare. He has a 2-up armor save, a 4-up invulnerable, a 5-up feel no pain. He's got 5 wounds. He shoots crazy hard with a Melta 6 gun. And then it could also be, he also has a spread shot, a scatter shot, instead of a focus shot, that gives him sustained hits D3. Ugh, disgusting. But in melee, this guy punches crazy hard. He's going to get damage 3 and AP 4 in melee. Not to mention, when you do get through this nerd, he's going to come back to life on a 2-up. Couple this with Fate Dice. Oh my gosh. Imagine you just move a unit of 5 people getting ready to charge him, and he uses a 6 on his Fate Dice for his Overwatch, which is sustained hits D3, so he gets 4 shots with his Strength 8, AP 2, Damage 2 gun. And then suddenly your 5-man of Jump Assault Intercessors is now a 1-man. And then when he charges Fuegan, he does nothing because Fuegan has a 2-up armor save and a 4-up invulnerable save and a 5-up feel no pain. He then kills the Jump Assault Intercessor. Then even if somehow you do manage to kill him, he stands back up and charges you and slaughters you in your next turn. It is an amazing model for only 130 points. Now, if he is leading a unit, he can give +1 to hit to the unit of fire dragons that he attaches to, but why freaking bother? This guy is a rockstar. And then lastly, for today's video, we have the Grey Knights Librarian. This dude is super, super useful, actually as a leader and as not a leader. So as a leader, you can run him with a 5-man unit of your Terminators. You can run him with a 10-man unit of your Terminators or Paladins if you want, but I like him solo. Now, he is a little bit pricey now at 120. He was Value Town at 100, but at 120, he does get pricey, but he is still very viable because of the tricks and the shenanigans that he gives you. You can give them enhancements for, say, First to the Fray, which would allow him to deep strike turn 1, get you and coupled with the Grey Knight's stratagems, he gets a 3-inch deep strike, which could get you, behind enemy lines. It can get you lots of different abilities turn 1, which is really dang cool. You can lone op him when he strikes in. You can miss a Deimos to make him disappear if people move close to him. But the real key is that he has the ability to shoot you with mortal wounds and still do actions, which is really, really important. Because remember, in the Pariah Nexus mission pack, actions are at a freaking premium because you can no longer advance and do actions. You can no longer do actions in combat with very limited exceptions. So this guy is pretty sick. and I think we might see them back on the table since Prior Nexus is changing the action economy dramatically. Anyway, this is today's video. If you enjoy this stuff, please hit the like and subscribe, and we'll be getting a lot more out to you. I love everyone who's hanging out with the channel and helping us grow. You guys are total rock stars. Don't forget to check out Baron of Dice. The description is in the link down below. We do have our custom freaking dice for Happy Crumpin' Wargaming, and they are absolutely sick. I guess the last announcement is, yep, we have 2 days to go for your signups. I know we've got over like 60 people signed up for the teams tournament now, but if you want to jump in, if you're looking to make the jump to figure out how teams work, see how much fun teams are, definitely give it a try. And you just got to be a member to sign up because it is a ton of work on my part. So it is worth your $4 to $7 a month because you can buy me a beer if I'm going through this much work to make this a good experience for you. Anyway, appreciate all of you, and I hope you have an amazing freaking day. Crump on.